Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and this is the fastest rubber with a DOT sticker. The most impressive thing about a Pirelli Diablo Supercorsa SPV3 is that it's street legal. Barely. The rubber is from a racing slick. SC2, it's Pirelli's hard competition compound. Rarely used in most leagues, but still stupid fast for a DOT tire. And you get SC2 on the entire front to quicken warm up on slow city streets. For the rear, which is easier to get hot because throttle, I have SC2 on the slick cornering edge, through the groove pattern, and then up to this narrow center band, which is a 100% carbon black street compound for better mileage. Gaps between lightning bolts have been narrowed since the SPV2, and that makes it less likely to fold in on itself, a nasty habit which causes skittish feedback and uneven tire wear at best. Tire failure at worst. Spanning a nearly insignificant 4% of the tire surface, you can't get smaller grooves than these, and that's the minimum requirement for racing leagues that demand non-slick tires. It's hot glue on dry tarmac. Of course, it rides like a crazy carpet in the rain, with slick patches here, here, and most of here. Last year, I chose the Spätzle-eating Metzeler Racetech RR, which tuned belt tension differently across the tire to achieve rigidly precise edges and softer, stabler straights. But the spaghetti-eating Pirelli found a better way. It modulates rubber thickness to achieve the same effect. Thicker, stiffer here to cut a razor-sharp racing line, and then thinner on top for a wider contact patch that won't wander on the straights. It works better than the Metzeler. And the only downside to using variable rubber thicknesses is that the Pirelli's handling gets weird if you fail to wear it evenly all the way around the profile. But for most buyers of this tire, it's not gonna be an issue. Pop quiz. What tire size do they use in World Superbike? The answer, 200 by 60 R17, which you wouldn't guess because we never see this specific aspect ratio on street bikes. Then along came a spider and changed all that. Ducati's V4 wears the taller racing size. The extra height makes it quicker to tip in. It also provides taller cornering patches. By fall, we'll see SPV3s for various prices and various sizes. But for now, only that racy 200 by 60 spec is available, which will leave a $350 hole in your pocket every 2,000 kilometers. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can get the Shinko Stealth for less than half that, 170 bucks. And it comes in an ultra soft compound, which is yanked off slick tires just like the SPV3. True, but you're buying a very strange tire here. Now just look at the dimple design. Center grooves to avoid hydroplaning, sights connected to reservoirs, channeling and holding water away from the contact patch. Then on the limit you have extractors, letting water escape right out the sidewall. So what we have here is essentially a racing rain tire, which is a strange thing to run on the daily. There's plenty of grip in the dry, but it's squirmy, especially with an unslick cornering strip and aramid belts of no intentional tensioning. The Stealth also gets hot really fast and consumes itself in no time. But if you live in Waterworld like Kevin Costner and my fellow Vancouverites, well, this is perfect. Pro tip, those who ride aggressively or dislike changing their tires every few weeks will be interested in Shinko's slightly harder compound. Ultra soft front and soft rear make a killer combination, slower but better behaved in the dry and a bit longer lasting. I can get a perfect 1 rear to 1 front ratio that way. Now, those first two are silly tires. Race pace, glue yourself to the first 1,000 miles you see, live fast, die young. But what if you want something more practical? Lady Justice says you can have grip or mileage. But while she was blindfolded, Michelin came along and took the best of both. Who remembers high school chemistry? And up until now, most tires were mixtures. If you wanted hard mileage, there's rubber and silica. If you want soft grip, rubber and carbon black. As evidenced by my carbon black hands, it doesn't take much to separate a mixture. Durability, very low. But Michelin altered their styrene butadiene rubber so that it could form a chemical bond with silica. And chemical bonds are very strong. So we have this lattice of chemically bonded rubber silica compound. And that forms a strong backbone for our sticky mixture of unbonded carbon black. The result is the Power RS, a tire that laps a few seconds faster than the old Pilot Power 3, but also lasts just as long, about 10,000 kilometers. Making a track-ready tire durable is very important to Michelin. Just ask Scott Redding, or Johan Zarco, or the 700 million euros they recently spent on R&D. Or you could ask the fleet of moto journalists they flew to Qatar last year, for the primary purpose of giving them free MotoGP tickets and the secondary purpose of letting them try the Power RS around Losail. All that to say, you'll hear a lot about this tire. Michelin went big on the promo. They went big by replacing both the Pilot Power 3 and the Supersport Evo with it. They went big on the 13 available sizes, Supermoto guys. But yeah, they actually went big on the R&D too. Last piece of tech is ACT, Adaptive Casing Technology. And basically they wrap the ply from bead to bead with an overlap on the edges. Double ply in the sidewall, more rigidity in corners. It's clever. It makes it a total pain in the ass to break the bead with spoons, but clever. So, is the Michelin Power RS the best donut since sliced bread? It's very good. At the moment, you can't find a faster tire that'll do 10,000 clicks. But there is a flashier tire. And Pirelli just dropped the Diablo Rosso Corsa 2, which has a sharper profile than Kira Knightley. This thing is so light, so flicky, it's just fun. The Diablo Part 2 is rather exciting for the Italians because it's their first triple compound rear. 8 years since the original Rosso Corsa, and in that time motorcycles have become 200 horsepower freaks driven by ABS and TC supercomputers. Things have changed. Cornering electronics like a tire to be linear. They want to read as much grip here as they do here as they do here. And to achieve that, you need to have an SC3 soft slick compound on the edges, slightly harder in the middle, harder again on top. The middle is my favorite part of that sandwich. Pirelli concentrated all of the grooves here because they know when it's raining, my maximum lean angle is only about that. Of course, when it comes to water evacuation, thin sipes and reservoirs probably would have done better than this stylish lightning bolt pattern, but don't try to tell an Italian that. The middle band is also 100% silica based. I like that because my favorite thing is to wind the throttle coming out of a curve. And on this silica band, it's so firm, so sharp, you'd swear you were carving a groove in the pavement. Now, Pirelli will try to tell you this tire was born on the racetrack. It wasn't. And that SPV3 we saw earlier was born on the track. This Rosso Corsa, it just sits in the stands occasionally. I'll be the first to admit that I've never gotten a Rosso Corsa 2 front tire out of shape. It has more grip than I have balls. But the rear is easy enough to slide. It's playful, and not really much faster than a Michelin RS and 40% shorter lived. But more fun. As a new tire, the DRC2 comes in that 200x60 silly size for the Ducati V4, and as a new tire it costs $300. Ew. Put something else on, remember this fun guy in the low season. What did we learn, class? Fastest in the dry, fastest in the wet. If you want something that won't melt in your hands, the Michelin Power RS is the fastest 10K tire, and the DRC2 will make you feel the fastest. Thanks.